And welcome back to my PlayStation 3 game collection. This is part 2, and let's not waste time. Here we go. Next up is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. This is the game right here, Modern Warfare 1, Call of Duty 4. This is the game that took the crown of first-person shooters away from the Halo franchise. And ever since then, it's been Call of Duty, and it has not looked back. This is I will say this, me personally, these games are a little too difficult for me, but they are fun. Multiplayer is fun to play with friends. I will say that, but even that's too hard. But even the campaigns are just too difficult for me. The game itself is just too hard for me. But I did get this. I did get this game here because it was $6 at GameStop, and like I said, I heard so many good things about it, so I picked it up. Anyway, yeah, it's Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 1 and 2. I didn't get 3 because I heard that it wasn't as good. And the creators got fired before that one came out, so I stopped after 2. Anyways, there we go. Next up is the Uncharted Trilogy. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, which came with the PlayStation that I got for Christmas in 2011. And I really love this series. The characters are very likable. The action in the game is very it's like jaw dropping amazing. It showcases the power of what the PlayStation 3 is capable of, what it could do. And I will say this: my favorite of the 3 is actually I like 2 and 3 the best. 1 I don't think is as good. 1 is good, but not as good. Obviously, the visual improvements are a factor, but that's not really my little quirk. The sequels are a little bit easier because they have a very easy setting. They have an easier setting than the first game does. The first game is just easy, medium, hard, and the other games have a very easy setting, which I prefer. And another issue I have with the first game is the controls aren't as precise or as responsive as they are in the sequels. But all 3 are I highly recommend you play all 3 games. Definitely. So one more time. 1, 2, and 3. So there you go. That's Uncharted. Next up, one of my favorite games of this year, The Last of Us. This game is phenomenal. The characters, you care about the characters. The suspense is very intense, like extremely intense. Like when you're in a room full of clickers in the dark and you hear them, whoa! I mean, that will creep you out. That's one of the creepiest sounds I ever heard in any medium. And the ending is quiet but very powerful. It's one of those endings where you kind of feel underwhelmed at first, but you keep thinking about it all day, and eventually it hits you, and you're like, whoa, that hit me, So it's one of those types of endings, and it will anger you because one of the main characters does a horrible thing that I'm not going to spoil here, but trust me, this is a game you must play, and the gameplay itself is very, very addicting. Like I was playing, and I was like, okay, I'm going to stop after this next part. Hours later, I'm continuing to play because it's like just one more, But trust me, this game is amazing. There is one downside to it: a bunny dies. So close your eyes when that happens. When you see the bunny, close your eyes because it's a horrible sight. Otherwise, this game thumbs way up. Next up is Catherine, and this is a very obscure title. It's very unusual and different and weird, and I like that. Like, it's a dating sim, a puzzle platformer, and a horror game. And the cutscenes are an anime, so that's a plus as well. There are themes here. The theme here is infidelity and relationships, and I was like, whoa, this is a very unique game. So I definitely recommend it if you're into more obscure titles. Next up is NBA 2K11, and this is a sports game. You know what I do with sports games? I just let the PC play each other, and I watch it like it's a real sports game. And the funny thing is, I don't even watch full sports games. I'm not even interested in sports. But when it comes to sports games, I do enjoy watching those. I do enjoy watching the PC play itself. Why? Because I'm a nerd, and I'm weird like that. So yeah, that's why I got this. This is a masterpiece in every way. Gameplay wise, you gotta be smart. You gotta be smart to play. The humor is dark and funny and sharp. Characters are likable. Everything, and the story's really good. Everything about this game is a 10 plus and more. This is just a phenomenal game. I don't know what else to say. Everything about it works, and if you're smart, you'll love it. And if you're stupid, look up the answers online and play it anyway, because the humor is worth it. All right. Next up is Street Fighter 4, and the combos are phenomenal. This is my second favorite franchise. My first favorite is Mortal Kombat. Very fun game. It's pretty easy until you get to the last boss, and then he's really hard. So. But otherwise, pick this one up. Next up is L.A. Noire, and a lot of people didn't like this game, but I love this game. I love the detective. It's a detective sim at heart. You know, you get to interrogate suspects, read their faces, see if they're lying or not, look for clues, and there's some action stuff in there too that breaks up the core gameplay mechanics a bit. A lot of people thought it was repetitive. I didn't really think so, but I would recommend that you play each case one at a time, and like pace yourself with it, because once it's over, there's not a lot of replay value. The open world is pretty. It looks good, but there's not a whole lot to do once you're done. But but trust me, this game is worth picking up. I love this game. Next up is Killzone 2, and I got confused right away. I couldn't find the bridge to blow up, so yeah, I felt dumb. And the multiplayer is there's not a lot of people playing it now, so I can't really recommend this. It does look really good, and but with Killzone Shadowfall coming out, I would just look to that if you're a Killzone fan. Next up is Mortal Kombat, and this is my favorite fighting game of all time. Now, if you miss Mortal Kombat and you want to get back to it, this is the game to come back to. This brings back the glory days of the first two games, and if you get it on PlayStation, you get to be Kratos, so that's a major plus as well. Next up is Resistance: Fall of Man and Resistance 2. I do not have Resistance 3. I prefer Resistance 2 over the first game because it's easier. The first game, you know, you have to look for health packs. In the second game, you just regenerate, so that makes the game a lot easier. I also love the bosses in Resistance 2. They are huge. So yeah, that's Resistance 1 and 2. Next up is NHL 08. It's a sports game. I tell you what I do with sports games. So yeah, I just watch the PC play. Simple as that. Next up, we got this masterpiece here. I'm telling you, the visuals on this are so massive and incredible. I'm actually scared to put this in sometimes and play it because it's just so huge. I mean, the bosses are humongous, and it's not cutscenes, it's gameplay. I mean, this is another game that shows the power of the PlayStation 3. So yeah, pick this one up. Next up is Infamous. It's an ode to comic books. You get to choose whether to be good or bad. The open world game was kind of disappointing because I'm always getting shot at, and I kind of, I'm like, where's that coming from? It's kind of annoying. But playing the missions is actually quite fun. There's good platforming, good action, and so yeah, I do recommend this game. Next up is SSX, and this is another game that I spent a lot of time on because of the custom soundtracks feature. I just love rocking out to my own music that I select and playing to it. It's just so much fun. Love this game. And finally, Beyond Two Souls. If you're a David Cage fan, if you're a fan of supernatural thrillers, if you're a fan of Ellen Page, I definitely recommend it. This is a nice steel case here. And it's not perfect. It does have its flaws, but I definitely recommend it overall. So pick it up. And that does it for my PlayStation 3 game collection. Join me next time. I will be showcasing my Xbox 360 games. See you then.